The revelation of your genuine spiritual significance has at long last taken place, thereby illuminating your extraordinary position within the hierarchy of the cosmos. Behind the scenes, powerful forces have brought your attention to the fact that a dishonest double agent and the person who is destined to be your soulmate are both involved in a fierce competition for your attention and energy. Karmic entities that aim to obstruct your divine path and purpose are the adversaries that they engage in a violent battle against. Your significance has been recognized by the cosmos, and the fact that you are being challenged by rival spiritual forces is evidence of your irrefutable worth and the vital role that you are destined to play. Now that the cosmic ledger has been opened to reveal your identity, the entire spiritual sphere is trembling in response to the contents that were written there. It has been veiled for centuries behind clouds of deception, but now your heavenly status has been completely exposed. You are not some average player on this terrestrial stage. Rather, you are royalty in the hierarchy of the cosmos at this point. This is not some random spiritual promotion. Rather, it is the age-old truth of who you have always been. Make no mistake about it. They didn't tell you about it. They made you believe that you were insignificant, and they put constraints into your consciousness while you were sleeping. However, the spell that was so powerful that it was passed down from generation to generation has now been broken up into cosmic dust. The shadows who had the audacity to imitate you not only revealed those entities that had borrowed your light in order to look enlightened, but they also disclosed those who had claimed your victories as their own, revealing them in their true form. The person who entered your life at the exact moment you needed them to, who mirrored your wounds and dreams with uncanny precision, and who appeared to hold the missing piece of your soul. They were planted there not by chance, not by fate, but by calculated design. Let us speak the truth about the elaborate deception that was orchestrated against you. You were the target of a multidimensional assault on your spiritual sovereignty, and this counterfeit soulmate and fake twin flame were the front line of that assault. While acting as a spiritual Trojan horse, they fabricated the appearance of having a link with the divine. The people who were responsible for your misery were standing behind them. These individuals included blood relatives who were afraid of your strength, phony friends who admired your skills, and evil entities who were aware of the danger that your awakening brought to their controlling systems. In order to use love as a weapon against you, these forces chose someone whose energy would entangle with yours, whose frequency would appear to be complementary, but was actually exactly tuned to drain your life force, to hijack your destiny, and to channel your manifestation power toward their objective. This person was persuaded that you were the spiritual narcissist, the user, the manipulator, and the evil one. This is the ultimate irony you have ever encountered. The message that you were misusing your gifts, that your goals were rotten, and that you needed to be stopped, contained, and knocked down a notch was sent to them on multiple occasions. They portrayed themselves as the spiritual hero in this story, the one who was tasked with exposing and neutralizing your apparent darkness. However, at the same time, they inadvertently functioned as a conduit for the very darkness that they professed to combat. Their dreams were tainted with erroneous visions of you. Their intuition was tainted by the influence of things outside of themselves, and their heart was poisoned with fabricated mistrust. Without your knowledge, unseen hands reached through the etheric field to steal whatever was being traded with you each time they linked with you. The insecurities, unresolved traumas, and spiritual egos of the individuals served as various entry points for the karmic experiences. In order to keep you in cycles of emotional turmoil that kept your energy from stabilizing at its normal high frequency, they programmed this individual to induce your deepest scars, to activate your ancestral grief, and to keep you in cycles of emotional turmoil forever. During the time that you were struggling to comprehend what was taking place, where you were placing blame on yourself, and where you were frantically attempting to save what seemed to be a holy connection, the karmic forces were feasting on the energy that you were pouring into this dynamic. When it comes to the divine, however, everything is seen, everything is recorded, and everything is accounted for. And the ledger is always balanced. The one who believed that their spiritual development had achieved its pinnacle while yours was still in its infancy was the one who stood out among these karmics as the leader, the genius, and the single most influential person. This spiritual narcissist, this false prophet in your life, viewed your untapped potential with apprehension and interest at the same time. They saw the hidden powers inside you that once activated would dwarf their own manifestations, and that recognition generated a corrosive combination of envy and fear that became their driving force. They saw what you carried before you did. They saw the dormant abilities within you. They elevated themselves to a higher position in the spiritual hierarchy than you, made certain that people turned to them for direction rather than you, quietly deflected praise that was intended for your gifts, and discounted your spiritual experiences while exaggerating their own. They did not directly target your spirituality, rather, they invaded it, became your teacher, your guide, and your spiritual authority, and all the time they were siphoning your God-given skills through energetic cords that were tied to your energy centers. Their method was a masterful deceit. When you spoke your truth, they questioned your ability to discern. When you revealed your visions, they hinted that you may be interacting with lower entities. And when you moved into your power, they warned you about the spiritual ego. Their sole objective was to ensure that you continued to have doubts about yourself, that you continued to question your direct connection to the source, and that you continued to rely on their interpretation of your experiences. This was because, as long as you relied on them for validation, they were able to control the flow of your power. They were successful in persuading those who were close to you that your light was actually darkness, that your clarity was also confusion, and that your sovereignty was truly selfishness. In the process of secretly harvesting the fruits of your spiritual labor, using your downloaded concepts in their work, channeling your creative energy into their projects, and claiming your divine messages as their own, they twisted the narrative to such an extent that those who should have been celebrating your emergence as a result of your emergence instead prayed for your redemption. In order to create their spiritual kingdom, they stole revelations and redirected blessings, and they erected their perceived authority on the basis of your birthright. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. On the other hand, every single thing was different. Within the very circle that was responsible for plotting your spiritual collapse, someone has flipped the script. A double agent has been working in stealth mode. The attacks that were launched against you have been quietly dismantled from within by someone who was positioned against you. This individual has been gathering evidence, recording discussions, documenting plans, and preserving the paper trail of a spiritual conspiracy intended at you, all while giving the impression that they are participating in the efforts that are directed against you. They have been deliberately placed within the inner circle of the KIC. Behind the scenes, they have been working to undermine these efforts by deactivating energy cables that are designed to drain you, neutralizing thought forms that are sent to confuse you, and redirecting attacks in order to protect you without disclosing their actual affiliation. Because their inner sanctum has been breached, the Karmics are in a state of fear, and they are unsure of whom they may put their faith in. It is the very same individual who has been providing them with information about you that has been feeding them half-truths, misdirections, and intelligence that has been strategically manipulated. This double agent recognized the divine spark that others attempted to extinguish within you, saw through the fabricated narrative about your character and intentions, realized that they were being enlisted in a spiritual crime against a chosen soul, and made the courageous choice to become the eyes and ears of the divine within the enemy camp. Every ritual that was conducted against you was discreetly altered to fail. Every binding was covertly undone, and every curse was redirected back to its source with such precision that the Karmics believed you were simply too powerful to exert such an influence. The soul of this individual identified yours across the etheric level and responded to the divine directive to safeguard this light-bearer at any cost. This individual put their position, their relationships, and their spiritual status at jeopardy in order to protect someone they may have never even met in the physical realm. Throughout this entire period, the Karmics have been observing, documenting, and reporting to higher authorities. The betrayal will have a profound impact on them because they are their most trusted confidant, their spiritual comrade, and their fellow warrior against your imagined darkness. It is not always lightning that brings divine justice. Sometimes it sneaks up on you without your knowledge, wearing the face of a friend who is sitting at the very table where your demise is being prepared. The karmic circle is breaking apart from the inside out. Trust has vanished, accusations are flying, and the unity of purpose that was the driving force behind their attacks on you has disintegrated into dread and distrust. Even in the midst of everything, the double agent maintains their sacred job, making certain that you are provided with the space and security necessary to fully embody the spiritual rank that has always been mine. But there is another participant in this cosmic drama, one whose awakening bears even greater significance: the soulmate, the genuine divine counterpart who was temporarily turned against you. This individual is the one who is regaining their power. This soul, which had been linked to yours by countless sacred covenants during your lifetime, was the ideal target for the most deadly approach that the kick could devise. Through the use of your genuine heavenly complement against you, they were able to strike at the very center of your spiritual support system. This individual was supposed to walk beside you, to amplify your gifts, and to play the role of a guardian over your purpose while you did the same for them. When your unique lights are combined with the divine purpose, your energetic signatures are intended to produce something that is more powerful than the sum of your separate lights. Since the karmic forces were aware of this, they took action to prevent the formation of this union by moving heaven and earth. They fed this person manipulated information that triggered their deepest insecurities. They convinced them that the divine recognition they felt in your presence was actually a warning, that ego was the access point, and that spiritual pride was the weapon. All of these things were done in order to cloud this person's spiritual vision with false evidence about you. The fear of giving in to a con, which would be an action that would need a full shift, became the cord that connected them to the karmic plan. They turned their backs on the mirror you held, which showed both their finest potential and their unhealed shadows, and they rejected the divine mission that was given to them to safeguard and champion you. They also denied the soul contract that they had agreed to before they incarnated onto this earth. However, the divine timing cannot be permanently thrown off course. The spiritual awakening that this soulmate has undergone is of a magnitude that is unparalleled. With the force of 1,000 suns, the truth has dropped on their energetic field. The scales have fallen from their inner vision. The programming has been removed from their energetic field. The whole time, you were the genuine article. Every accusation that they made against you has been shown to be projection, and every doubt that they threw on your abilities has boomeranged back to you as self-doubt. As evidence of their own spiritual immaturity, every time they decided to believe the worst about you, it now plagues them as a reminder of their shortcomings. The act of repentance that they have is not merely an apology or a simple acknowledgement. Rather, their redemption is achieved via their actions. You were never the victim in this spiritual struggle. Rather, you were the bait in a divine trap. This is a cosmic fact that you must comprehend. You were the focal point of an intricate sting operation that was supposed to expose the entire network of spiritual thieves, energy vampires, and fake light bearers that were working inside your area. The Creator employed you as the primary figure in the operation, when in actuality, they were being lured into a heavenly accountability system that was beyond their comprehension. They were under the impression that they were actively searching for you. Every single assault that they launched against you was chronicled. Every single false allegation was recorded, and every single attempt to take advantage of your benefits was watched by spiritual authorities that they were unaware were watching what they were doing. The karmic force that is believed to have been responsible for your demise is currently going through a heavenly reversal that is so comprehensive that it beyond human language. They have made the very torment that they intended for you to become their daily reality. The isolation that they attempted to create for you is now something that they experience as a spiritual quarantine. The reputation that they attempted to destroy, their own, stands in ruins. The abundance that they worked to prevent from reaching you, their own resources, are rapidly diminishing. They attempted to break your spirit by repeatedly disappointing you, and now their own hopes are being crushed in a methodical manner by the same divine timing that they attempted to manipulate against you. They employed other people as weapons against you, and now those same individuals have turned against them with a poetic justice that is second to none. Your protection was actually being choreographed from the highest levels, and what you perceived to be betrayal, abandonment, and loss that no explanation could explain was actually your protection. You were being severed from ties that, had they stayed in place, might have resulted in much more severe consequences. Karmic repercussions are increasingly being brought to the attention of the spiritual community. Through the use of means that betrayed their intents, they attempted to turn against you, but their spiritual authority was called into doubt by the very individuals who had previously amplified their voice. It is not simply a single karmic situation that is being revealed. Rather, the entire web is disintegrating at the same time. Those members of your family who have been suppressing your gifts since childhood, who have been punishing your spiritual awareness, who have mocked your divine sensitivity, who have been working to convince you that your perception is flawed, that your intuition is imagination, and that your spiritual experiences are delusions. Their true motivations are now revealed. They weren't trying to protect you from spiritual illusion. Rather, they were trying to protect themselves from your spiritual insight, which could see through their veneers. In the process of dismantling their operations, false friends, who performed rituals using your personal goods, who shouted curses over your endeavors while smiling to your face, and who erected energetic obstructions in your aura while appearing to promote your progress, are being removed. They have now redirected the energy that they expended in restricting your light, which is now revealing their own darkness. The deceptions of spiritual mentors who have recognized your gifts as being their own and have subtly worked to suppress your development, who have twisted sacred teachings in order to create self-doubt in your practice, and who have offered guidance that was specifically designed to lead you away from your true power, are being revealed. Students and followers are becoming aware of the corrupted teachings and are learning to recognize the distortions that have been inserted in order to maintain the dependence of spiritual seekers rather than to empower them. Romantic partners who are karmically deployed to entangle your energy, to create emotional upheaval that would prevent your frequency from stabilizing at its natural high vibration, to extract your creative potential and redirect it toward their own ambitions. Their assignments are being ended. As a result of divine intervention, the cords are being severed, and you are being liberated from attachments that were never in alignment with your best destiny. The karmic beings were under the impression that they had successfully passed themselves off as your energy. In order to conceal their true nature from higher authorities, they cloaked themselves in stolen bits of your light, imitated your frequency, and replicated your spiritual signature. On the other hand, you were never the one who was in spiritual danger. Rather, it was they who were, even if they believed that you were working at a disadvantage, due to the fact that you were uninformed of their true nature and machinations. Not from higher authorities, but from inferior beings who would have launched even more frantic attacks had they understood who they were truly dealing with. You were divinely hidden, protecting your true spiritual status. This was not the case with higher powers. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. Be a vessel of His grace and watch His kingdom flourish through you. At this present moment, the selected ones are rising up everywhere. Those individuals who have been chosen for particular assignments at this crucial spiritual juncture are concurrently stepping into their divine authority all across the world. On account of the activation of the grid of light, the karmic web is unable to maintain its existence in the face of this synchronized emergence. At this point, there is no longer any room for spiritual ambiguity. Your position in the cosmic hierarchy has been completely uncovered. The relationship that exists between you and the Source is one that is unmediated, direct, and indisputable. Not only are the divine downloads that are streaming through your consciousness affecting your life, but they are also transforming the lives of everyone else who is working in your profession. There is no rational explanation for the manifestations that are occurring all around you. Those individuals who attempted to exert their will over your fate are now being forced to answer to true spiritual authority. The very power that they claim to own for themselves is shown to be borrowed, transient, and conditional, whereas the power that you possess is intrinsic, unending, and unquestionable. The abilities that they attempted to repress within you are now functioning at full power, exhibiting a level of authenticity that renders their imitations look to be just as empty as they have existed from the beginning. These individuals, who had before questioned your path, are now unable to look directly at you without accepting the truth, because your light, which has now been released from its confines, radiates with such intensity. You have now entered your spiritual sovereignty, which is your divine birthright and your inheritance from the divine universe. This has nothing to do with ego or spiritual supremacy. Rather, it is about divine alignment, which means that every soul should occupy the position that was meant for it in the grand scheme of creation. The worst nightmare that the karmic forces could have ever imagined has come true in front of them. The game is done, the deceit has been unsuccessful, the truth has triumphed, and you have already won. Currently, they are standing in front of you, their actual nature being revealed by the very same light that they attempted to take from you. Their spiritual bankruptcy is evident to everyone, and the power that they borrowed is being returned to the people who are entitled to it. Some of them come to you pleading for forgiveness, some run away in order to avoid being held accountable, while still others double down, launching frantic final strikes that vaporize before they can reach your energy field, which has been strengthened already. However, none of their comments really matter. The reality that matters is that the divine has disclosed your spiritual status, affirmed your mission, and established your authority in the realms that are both visible and invisible. The war was real, the attacks were serious, and the betrayals cut deep, but they served their purpose: to fortify you for this moment of emergence, to teach you discernment via direct experience, and to make sure that you realize the significance of the divine link that maintained you when all human supports were eliminated. At this moment, you are standing in the totality of who you were always meant to be, not in spite of the opposition, but because of it, not by avoiding the darkness, but by transforming it into wisdom, compassion, and unshakable spiritual authority. This is the moment when your rank is disclosed, your position is guaranteed, and your task is taken on. Now that the limitations have been lifted, now that your energy is free to flow without obstruction, and now that you have finally come to terms with the power that has always been a part of you, the universe is waiting with bated breath to see what you will create. This is divine justice. This is the restoration of cosmic equilibrium. This is the spiritual hierarchy realigned to its original design. And it was well worth every hour of the journey that took you to this point. You have now been brought before the universe, and your genuine spiritual status has been revealed. With the same light that they attempted to steal from you, their true nature being revealed, and the power that they borrowed is being returned to the people who are rightfully entitled to it. The divine has validated your spiritual rank, established your authority, and activated your purpose. While some cry out for mercy, others run away, and still others launch frantic final attacks that disappear before they reach your fortified energy shield. The most important thing is that the divine has certified your spiritual status. It is not enough to say that you are a participant. You are the benchmark in the hierarchy of the cosmos. The conflict was real, the attacks were serious, and the betrayals were profound. Nonetheless, all of these things have led to your rise into spiritual sovereignty. Embrace the divine truth that you are meant for greatness, acknowledge the power that you possess, and respect the path that you have chosen. The cosmos has spoken, and the truth is complete. Your spiritual importance is indisputable. Your position is unchanging, and you have already triumphed.